expert in Georgia law. Like I'm literally a subject matter expert. Like I'm trying to get what you want.
Especially in this part right here.
I said, well, I'm gonna call the bar. I'm gonna call your insurance company. Oh, okay, that's totally fine if you want to do that. It's totally your option. But I'm gonna still follow law. I have to. Well, I'll call the judge. And she said, you file online. It's an online system. It's not. It doesn't even get an alert on her phone. And it's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, four hours. So she's pulling up on her. And she called out.
You're giving the invocation, you know.
What are you doing? I can't do it.
Go ahead. When you say Paul want to do the name, want to be on the name committee?
And I'm glad it's you.
Yes, I'm so glad.
You know, I didn't say it. I so do.
So glad. I
If you're looking for somebody, I will make my brain rest.
All right, yeah. And I got Rita for the splice, right? That's my nominee right now.
That man over there, Paul Peter.
That's not.
He don't wrote down on the paper at Peter when he was boy. I guess if you write it down, that make it so.
That's what I need to call and do before somebody steal Rita. I know, right?
I talked to her.
Already said, yeah.
Yeah, what
Yeah, I talked to her the other day. She said,
She said, yeah. Okay, they're gonna be my appointee.
I called her. I called Dibs. You heard me that day.
Oh, yeah, he did call Dibs.
Well, when I talked to her, I told her it was your fault.
Combined 34, 3, one of the two, they're the same.
Well, this is the combined public hearing for
Oh.
both, and this is the special exception for the use, this is the variance for the setback.
I don't know, Chelsea be so busy.
Did I get that?
She'll be great.
Acreage, it's the same property. The use
I
is the
mean,
first.
I was wondering if there were separate tracks.
He's my neighbor too. But he know Tyrone and all that. So.
Okay.
Good evening and welcome to the Spalding County Board of Commissioners November 20 Board of Zoning Public Hearings. I would ask that you please silence your cell phones and all other electronic devices. At this time, I'd ask the Vice Chair, James Dutton from District 2, to deliver the invocation, and Commissioner Ryan Bolden from District 4 to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
Please join me in prayer tonight. Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank Thee for all that Thou hast done for us, that we're able to wake up this morning in this wonderful community, in this awesome state, this wonderful country. Father, please continue to pour out your blessings on our community, that we can ever grow closer to Thee, that we can find the ways to make this community a better place to reflect the glory and light that Thou hast bestowed upon it. Father, we ask a blessing on all of our first responders, our military personnel, our medical personnel, and their families, wherever they may be tonight, that they will be guided, strengthened, and protected by Thy angels. Father, please bless us with a spirit that we can make the best decisions tonight, that we can be leaders that Thou could be proud of. Father, we ask these blessings humbly in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
If you would, please join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioners. Item number 4, new business. Consideration for the final plat, Teeman Point, Phase 1. There's no public hearing required on this action. Director Allen, would you please update us on what's going on?
Yes, sir, good evening. The Teeman Point subdivision was approved several years ago. The construction plans for phase 1 was approved last year. Since that time, they've been working on the, just phase one, which consists of 125 lots. They have completed all the interior roads and sidewalks and utilities. The ACL decel lane is also complete. There is a little bit of road widening portion on Teeman Road they're still working on today and tomorrow and early next week. Performance bond is being finalized, but the as-built as well as the plat have been approved. All review comments have been addressed on the plat, and the as-built have been approved as well. There is, and this is on the plat copies you have if it gets approved and signed, and this was gone over with the water authority. There is a conditional approval statement from them on the plat which says required water main testing has not yet been successfully completed. All water main testing must be performed, passed, and accepted by Spalding County Water Authority prior to issuance of certificates of occupancy and the release of building permits. Community development's fine with that, as well as all Spalding County Water Authority final documents as identified in the Spalding County Water Authority plan review process must be submitted and approved before final approval is issued for water utility bonds and before official bond terms commence. So based on that, staff and the Water Authority are recommending conditional approval of this phase one final plat.
I have a question. David, in the initial phase, were there any amenities completed?
Not in the initial, that is part of phase two. You'll see this, colored diagram in your package there. Phase one is the red, phase two is the, purple there. The pool and pavilion are part of the purple. So that'll be part of phase two.
So what we're hearing is they got approval for this with the understanding that they would have to do all these amenities. But if they do phase one and then stop building, they wouldn't have to build any amenities.
Well, yeah, that's not part of the plan though. They're fully intending to move on to phase two quickly,
Right now,
so.
and then
So-
you get Grayson Park.
So I guess my question is, what do the phases have to do with us? Because I get it, if you got, I don't know how many lots that is, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and that's in the final plat?
It's 125 for phase one.
Okay, so you would have 125 residences in phase one with no amenities. That's a lot of houses.
Well, they wouldn't build out phase one totally before starting the other phases, but they need to get the plat approved to close on that and start doing addresses and things of that nature to get the ball rolling on getting permits started for phase one. The contractor is also here if you wish to speak to him, but that's the game plan. Is it wouldn't necessarily be phase one completely finished and lived in before phase two started. There would be.
Okay.
And David, we're talking about, they haven't done the fire flow or whatever, the water flow. And we're going to do it on contingent that they're gonna get that done first?
Yes, sir. They worked out an arrangement with Parker and Joseph to do that in the coming weeks.
Okay. And the staff recommendation is
Approval of the
approval.
final one, phase one final plat for Teeman Point.
And planning citizens group there.
Planning Commission doesn't do final plats, just you.
That's right,
Yep.
that's right, that's right, they don't. Okay, because they've seen it before.
Yeah, they saw the preliminary plat. Yes, sir.
So I just want to ask one more question.
Please, please.
So in the entirety, and maybe I'm missing it, what other, for out of all three phases, what other entry and exit is there other than what is on Teeman Road?
That is the only exit out of there on Teeman Road. That was what was approved.
The other exit is, through the future fire department, location, the station there on Teeman Road.
Corner, yes.
Okay,
Okay, but I don't see that as an exit. I see that as a separate parcel. So are we saying that the fire station property is going to be connected to the roadway?
It would be connected through a drive that would afford the residents, in case of emergency, to travel through. That drive would be closed unless there was an emergency, and then that drive would be open and afforded as a second exit out of the community.
All right, James, where are you on this?
I didn't like it to begin with, but this again, it just seems like a. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it just seems to me like, again, I know the people who brought this forward. I don't think that they're like some of the more predatory builders that have come to town in the past. That said, I am still, I don't know, cautiously gun shy about these kind of things, and I always want to, hey, you said that you would do these parts that aren't going to make you money, the amenities and the trails and the whatever, and now you're going to hit some of the densest building that you're in the whole project, and you're going to go, oh, this is just phase one. We promise we'll come back and do all the rest of it, and there's nothing that requires that. So, again, I'm not saying that these people are trying to pull a fast one or going to do something wrong, but like, there's nothing that would prevent them if we went along with this. So what if that company
Downturn.
gets sold, or another boss comes in who's not, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I got permission to do this. Watch this. I don't have to make these amenities. This is how we can grab the most money out of this and move. So to me, I think certainly, hey, this is this much of a percentage of this thing. Okay, well then that much of the percentage of the amenities have to be built along with it. If you're going to phase it in, you got to do, oh, we promise we'll come back at the end and build all the amenities. Come on. Yeah, again, I'm not saying that that's what they're not going to do it or whatever, but what if? My job looking at contracts is, what if the worst happens? How do we put this in the contract so that that can't happen? And right now there is no provisions for that.
And the other part of it is, there's nothing in here for the second exit. If something happens at the first exit, we've got nothing in here, although we have an idea, nothing in the plan that says, hey, we're going to come out through this other piece of property and we'll have a Knox box or something on there.
But at the same time, if they just completed the second exit road, what's to stop people from coming in there and just dumping? Or, it's an untended section of road in the back. So, again, I think that kind of stuff needs to be taken more in mind. But, again, I was on a higher level against the whole thing. So, it's past, it's what's going to happen. But I think there's a way that, if they're going to self-throttle and do this in phases, which is their option, we need to attach all the other things that they cross their heart and hope to die swore that they're going to do, to it at the same time.
We'll watch them, make sure all the amenities and everything are in.
Okay.
Are those amenities in phase one?
They're right here in the center. If you look at this color drawing right here, right in the purple right there as part of phase two. Mr. Bailey, is the parking lot part that was in phase one here?
Yes.
Microphone.
Mr. Bailey, if you would please state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, sir. My name is John Bailey. I'm with Four Star Group, developer for the project Team and Point Phase 1. For the amenities,
Address?
my
Your address?
work address or my personal address?
Either would be fine.
9549 Clear Lake Court, Douglasville. Yes, so the amenities, the parking lot is currently in, while per the phasing plan, it says that the pool and the pool house will be in Phase 2. We will start construction on that this January while the builder is active building the Phase 1 with the pool and the pool house brought online contractually with the builder this upcoming May. They're only taking 19 lots at a time. So in May, there's a very real possibility that only a handful of actual homeowners have currently moved in. The game plan is from January to May, their sales pace, they'll have product, homeowners can come in, the pool house will be fully built out, operational, checked off, everything. So phasing plan phase 2, but that is when, as far as when it will go in, that's the timeline.
Where's the pool?
Yes, sir. If you don't
Next to
mind.
the parking
In
lot?
that purple part.
Lower square.
So yes, sir, this is going to be the clubhouse, or a little gazebo, not a full clubhouse, a pool. Then there's also a little sports field, like
A
pickleball.
green space? Sure.
Playground, yes, sir. And all of that. is
So
gonna go-
that rectangle's gonna be the pool.
Yes, sir. And all of that, that's where our central US, post location is also stationed, excuse me.
Is there not a way to, I mean, that's right on the border, is there not with phase 1, is there not a way to go? And this is all part of phase 1 too. I mean, why not? And then we can then we can say, yeah, as part of this, you said you'd build this, now you have to. You follow what I'm saying?
Right, but we already passed that street.
We can make whatever changes we want right now.
I don't, can we? I mean, my only I'm looking at you. Aren't we past that?
We're past a lot of stuff that you can change.
Okay.
All right. I was asking David, was the layout approved as part of the zoning? The answer was yes. This has been approved on the basis of construction plans. And as a general rule, if a preliminary or a final plat satisfies the requirements of our ordinance, we don't have the discretion to change very much.
So, note to ourselves.
Earlier,
Yeah, no, when we're on the front end, we need to get some timelines on how these amenities will roll in. And my
okay, James, talk, what do you?
I'm just, I brought that up when we were doing the zoning. Hey, what if they don't? And it's still got all 1,700 units got approved all at once. You know, we should have approved it piecemeal. You know what I'm saying? Like, 1,700 is that's one big chunk for one vote.
To your point, if there's any type of email or documentation, something there, yes, sir, that we'd be more than happy, very quickly can get that to you stating we are fully committed to this project, the entire project. Our timeline for the amenities is for January 2026, be completed May 2026. I can have my higher ups, whatever y'all may need.
So if
Yes, sir.
the white highlighted portion, as opposed to the grayed out portion, included the pavilion and the pool, that's not going to change y'all's timeline or affect you negatively in.
Because there
Any
is
kind of
no
way.
BOC in December, it would impact us negatively for this particular one, yes, sir. Now, I could come back and maybe revise after the fact, but it would negatively, if we needed to
No,
go
I'm
back
saying
and
if we did
change that.
If we did it tonight, not required you to come back, and we just said, hey, let's drag that line to here.
Oh, yes, sir.
And
Then
then
I could
voted
have
to
the
approve.
engineer. Yes,
You-
sir.
you follow
If
me?
we want to redline that on a
I
comment.
get, hey, go and do your homework and then come back. We're not gonna have one on that month. That would put you behind. But if we approved it tonight and sort of just drug that line to include the pool and the house in phase 1, which means you've got to build that. You're saying you're gonna build that. Totally fine. I totally believe you. But now we have a legal obligation to build that. Like, that's not gonna mess up your timeline because you're telling me you're gonna build it in January anyway,
Yes,
right?
sir. And I could have that
The
revised.
the parking lot for it's already in, so.
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, so, everybody okay with that?
I'm just looking over here to try to see if we're going to jail.
We can do that.
You're not gonna go to jail, but let's go back to somebody, I forget who said it, but these things need to be tied to the
the
site
original.
plan when you are approving the special exception and the zoning. Okay, because they have relied upon that approval, they have the right to develop in phases. James, playing with the line between 1 and 2 is probably the easiest thing you can do and get away with, all right? And with their cooperation, and particularly for parking lots already in, but the rule on this is if they're compliant with the plats and that plat complies, or the plan's compliant with, the plat, I'm gonna get this right in a minute. The plat is compliant with the site plan that was approved and the criteria of the ordinance are met by the plat, then we have very little discretion on denial. And I have to put it that way because I'm on his side in Upson County in a case where that Board of Commissioners is trying to play with them, all right? But play with the developer and whether you can comply with the plat. So we've got a little flexibility, but if he's willing to do what James wants with playing with the line in phase one, we can probably do that.
I agree. They're, over my objection, they're approved for this, and it's already kind of written down where they're gonna build everything. The question now is it okay for them to build, you know, as they go? And it is, they're asking tonight for, hey, can we finalize this so we can move on to phase two? You know, and we can change your finalized if it includes this. Like,
And
we
I
have the ability
share,
to do that.
James, I share your concern, because we've had a lot of deadbeat developers peter out and go into bankruptcy and amenities didn't get approved, didn't get built. I got it, I understand, but the rule is still,
Yeah.
that's still the rule on what we
If he
do.
wasn't willing to come across, if he wasn't willing to help negotiate with us, it would be an awkward situation.
So with Mr. Bailey's approval, as he just indicated, your motion would be to approve the final plat for phase one. That includes, the amenity section listed on sheet 6, that includes the pool, the
Specifically
amenity
the pool,
center,
the little amenity
and
center.
the open field.
A little open field. I mean, it's all in our timeline anyway. That'll be my motion.
Okay?
What do you say?
I can have that revised and resubmitted back to y'all before Thanksgiving.
Well, I don't
You don't need to.
I don't think you would if we approve it, because you submit for us to approve. If we approve,
Well, we'll need to have the final plat signed,
yeah,
and that final plat will need to be consistent with what y'all have just agreed to do and
Right.
what you've asked.
Okay.
So we
so
do
yeah,
need
so
to have
somebody
it
is
on-
going to have to drag
So
that line
you
and
could
drop it.
redline that tonight for approval, but you would have to have an updated version.
That is correct.
There's a meeting with this board again on December 1st where I could get the chairman to sign it.
But in the meantime, you've got the approval, so
Yes, and I can have it revised and to y'all to review before Thanksgiving, so there's a little time there for y'all to look at it as well.
yeah.
I'm gonna make a second, cause y'all just carrying on.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make a second.
Seconded. All right.
Okay. All right.
Was there a motion?
You two, just one
Is
sec.
that-
I have
I
a motion
made
and a
the motion
second for discussion. You two okay?
Good.
All right. Any other discussion?
Will there be sidewalks all along Demon Road bordering this property?
There's sidewalks going down to the extent of our road improvement on the acceleration and the deceleration lane.
But not to the extent from the end of your property to the other end of your property?
Correct, no ma'am. I would say you can, the very top corner up there, you can see the extent of it. It does not go all the way down to like Del Webb to the left or anything
Okay,
like that. Yes,
all
ma'am.
right.
Close enough. All right. Everybody square on what this is? David, you okay?
Yes, now it's including adding the amenities to phase one, and it also includes the language about the pending bonds and everything I talked
Yeah,
about.
all the
with-
staff conditions.
Yes,
And the water.
yes.
Well, the water's part of staff conditions, right?
Yeah.
That's a condition, so you're approving it with those conditions. That's
Yeah.
correct.
Just making sure. All right.
Y'all are wrapping up the road widening part on Teeman Point tomorrow.
Yes, sir. We passed the GAB proof roll today. They are dropping asphalt tomorrow. By Thanksgiving, that should be completed as well.
All right. Everybody got their say in? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hands. 5-0, motion carries. Thank you. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for y'all's time. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Item number 2, public hearing, application 25-14S, in-house real estate LLC, owner 2547 Locust Grove Road, parcel 209010338D, and 2545 Locust Grove Road, parcel 209010338C, located in land lot 76 of the Second Land District, consisting of approximately 34.3 combined acres. The applicant is requesting a special exception for rural event center. Just one second. Application 25-32V, in-house real estate LLC, owner 2547 Locust Grove Road, parcel 209010338D, located in land lot 76 of the second land district, consisting of approximately 31.3 acres. The applicant is requesting a variance for the reduction of a required 200-foot perimeter setback for an event center to 100 feet. Just as everybody is aware, we had a moratorium, but it did not include event centers. This was in the pipeline when we got the event center moratorium started. So it does not apply. Do I have a motion to open the combined public hearing for a purpose of hearing of those who have signed the petition to speak in support of the opposition of the applicant? If there's a number, you have 20 minutes on each side.
Yeah, motion going to, oh, second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, we're now in open hearing. Dr.
Mr.
Ledbetter,
Chairman,
did
would
anybody
you like
sign
to
up?
have a summary from just a quick summary of what this
Okay.
is before we?
So I'll go into more detail in the staff report later, but this is the same property. You're considering a special exception for the use of an event center. Then hand in hand, you're considering also a variance to reduce the required 200-foot perimeter setback on certain property lines for the development.
Okay, understand? Dr. Ledbetter?
Yes, sir. We have 4 people who have signed up this evening. Nadine Trowbridge. If you would, please step forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
She pro or a con? Okay.
Nadine Trowbridge, 2456 Locust Grove Road.
Yes, ma'am. And
Did you have a comment you wanted to make
Oh,
about
no,
this?
no, I was just signing up.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
sorry.
Thank
please
you.
forgive
We
me.
understand. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Calvin Howaday. All right, thank you. You were just signing up as well? All
Okay,
right, thank you.
understand. Thank you.
Daryl Johnson.
Holiday. Yeah, no. Okay, sorry. Okay.
And you're your name, ma'am?
I'm sorry, Dorothy Brown, for in-house real estate.
Okay.
Okay.
If you would, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Good evening, board. My name is Daryl Johnson, JDM Consultants, Douglasville, Georgia. So I'm a civil engineer, and I'm representing my client here, Dorothy Brown, in-house real estate. So we humbly approach you today and request to allow special exception and variance for the development of an event center. The property is 34 acres, in which we would like to subdivide into 4 parcels, one of which would be for the proposed venue, while the others would serve as single-family residential. The development has natural qualities, such as lake and stream area, that we will make a feature for the strategic location of the event center. We have rotated the building as such to reduce any noise pollution. We have extended the driveway throat of the development to seclude it from the local traffic, as well as provide additional landscaping along the right-of-way. We've placed the accessory dwellings in the rear outside of the stream buffers. My client has mentioned that she will have a groundkeeping staff to maintain the landscaping and keep the property pristine. We have presented our case to the board over previous sessions and received some feedback. That said, we have added fencing along that northern buffer, as well as reduce that request for 200 to 100 isolated in that northern area. We have even outlined the program for how and when the facility will function. And lastly, my client has knocked on numerous doors and obtained written support from approximately 20+ neighbors. As David mentioned, we have received an in favor vote for special exception, a no action for the variance, and tonight we request your favorable decision of allowing my client to fulfill her vision in Spalding County. Thank you for your attention. We yield back our time for any questions that you may have.
Okay.
There's a dwelling center on here, dwelling quarters.
Yes, sir.
Tell me
It's-
about who's gonna dwell on the property.
So it was the intentions of my client to have groundkeeper, herself, the owners of the facility. Anytime they would need it, they could stay on the site.
Is
would
this
be
not
the-
a residential site already?
Ma'am?
Aren't these residences already on there?
No, no, no. So the three along the roadway would be the single-family residential.
But they're not there now.
They're not there now, no. That, sorry, go ahead.
You are correct in saying that there is actually a single-family dwelling on the 2547 parcel. It's kind of to the rear of that. But everything that's there now, we're hoping to demolish, remove, and take away and build new.
I'm all in favor of that. That's
That's a good
it's
news
been
story.
pretty run down, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other questions for them? We can come back to them if we have other
The-
questions.
I see on the map there. There's like a floodplain area. And you can't build in there at all.
That's correct. That's correct. And we've paid a lot of attention to that in the stream buffer area to make sure. We've worked with David. We've had numerous conversations with him. So we're making sure that we're cognizant of that, protecting that stream area and not exacerbating the flood area.
David, event centers need a 200-foot setback, though, right?
Perimeter, yes, sir. That's what the variance is about on the second item.
That's more,
Problematic.
yeah. Because I know some of the people that live in the neighborhood there to the north, and they most certainly don't want there to be an event center here.
May I?
The-
I'm sorry.
Sure.
Oh, I apologize.
This is
for cutting
public
you off.
hearing still.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, yeah. Excuse.
Go ahead. I apologize.
Yeah, you're overachieving again. Okay. All right. Anything else from you all?
Yes, I do want to follow up on that. Because actually, the event center itself is not going to be on the northern side of the property. It's closer to the pond. And then secondly, I've actually taken the time to speak to those neighbors to the northern side of the property. And those are most of the signatures that I have obtained, and majority have championed us bringing something like this to the community.
And I just want to add one thing before we go. The 200-foot, just like you said, that's probably the largest of the things we're requesting. What we have done from some feedback from one of the members, the planning commission last time, on that southern end, we're not asking for a reduction along that lake area and stream area. It's only along that northern line, and we have agreed to provide some extra fencing and plantings and whatever's needed along that area. We're not going to disturb that area, just so we could keep that buffer and try to keep that intact.
All right. We're still in the public hearing session, so let's not. All right. Anything else? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
And Dawson?
And Dawson, 2656 Locust Grove Road. My property sits exactly across the street from this proposed event center. And I am completely opposed to it, but since it is coming, I definitely would love to see it pushed back as far as it can go. So, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, that's all who've signed up for a public hearing this evening on this application.
Motion to come out of public hearing.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. We're out of public hearing. All right, David, back to you.
All right, so obviously we have two separate items to vote on, but I will touch on them both at the same time since they go hand in hand. As far as the special exception, you do have in your staff report there the criteria for a rural event center for a special exception to be considered. It meets the lot size. It's located on a public paved road. She will have a maximum event size of the 200 guests. She will comply with the hours of operation between not having it between 11 p.m. and 8 a.m.
David, just a minute. I thought our rule was 10 o'clock.
Well, this is in the code for an event center, for a rural event center. I mean, you can change it if you want to in the conditions, but I'm just reading you what the code says, so.
This the noise ordinance, the amplification ordinance. That's 10.
Right.
Oh,
Just
so,
maybe
so,
we
so there's
conflict.
nothing wrong with them being open till 11. We're talking about, our problem is a noise.
Right.
So let me just ask you this then, because I tried to look this up. We have a urban event center, and then we have a rural event center. Because I'm not understanding, I couldn't find what the difference was.
We don't have a urban per se. We got in C1, in an indoor setting, you can have certain recreational amusement activities, but in AR1 and all those, it's just a rural, I mean, it's a combination of outside and inside.
So see, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I didn't get that that was that clear, because outdoors is outdoors. And the same problem that we're having over here and by the country club or wherever it is over here on this, that we've had complaints with this, it's going to be the same sound. There's nothing there to block noise if the amplification or the event is outside. So,
Well, most of this will be hosted inside in the buildings, but with any event, including Mystic Acres, there is some spillover.
right,
to
but
the
I
outside.
get that. But I'm what I'm hearing from you is that, of course, you can have events outside, but whether or not you have amplification outside depends on us. Okay, so and the other.
You can certainly make that more clear in the approval conditions, should it be approved. So.
Because it's a little, if you got a building and it's in the city of Griffin or it's right on the edge of the city of Griffin and you got a building out on the middle of McDonald Road, it's still a building. So I'm just not sure how come we have something different that we call rural event center. You are or you aren't. So yeah, that was my question about that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We defined, excuse me, we defined a rural event center because that's where, as a use in an AR zone. And we did that because that's where you were getting the demand and the questions and the applications about having wedding events and receptions. And you will also recall you had issues with the rodeo out on Aerodrome for a while. But understand there are two different things here. David has an ordinance to regulate noise at any event center. But this is to approve an event center in a rural area in AR1, and then it will be governed by the noise ordinance that's going to apply everywhere, correct?
Yes, that's part of an H of the standards, it mentions that in there.
So that's the reason I understand there might be a little confusion on it, but the ordinance setting the criteria for a rural event center was specifically intended to address property like subject to this application.
So if I wanted to have a rural event center, but I wanted to have rodeos, which require lots of noise and music and stuff, if it came to us, I wouldn't be in support of something that was going to be able to run the entirety of their business and be outside making noise. So that's why I'm trying to make it clear, to have some clarity about it's either an event center or it's a venue. So, and it could be both, which, this particular application has a multitude of things encompassed in it, which I'm not really sure how that works if you have individual housing on an event center property and then an amenities area. I'm not really sure how that works. But I think the problem for us is if you allow people to have a rural event center, there's the expectation that I can do stuff outdoors. And we don't have any rules
you
for that.
can,
Right,
but
but
you
you can do
can't
noisy
violate
things.
the noise ordinance. okay, and the noise restrictions that you're gonna have later on your agenda.
Okay.
Now, remember, as I remember what we talked about, this was the difference between having a band and having a band with amplification. They can have a band, but no amplification. Now,
That's
most,
still loud.
that's my issue.
Oh, and what good is having a band? You can't hear them without amplification. So, yeah.
I think the main thrust of this, in talking with Mr. Johnson and Ms. Brown, is that the two main buildings there, the events pavilion and the barn, will be the main areas indoors where the weddings, which is the main thrust of her business here, to take place. Now, obviously, there will be some spillover, but I don't believe you intend to have many purely outdoor weddings, correct? Okay.
The indoor noise to us is, we can handle that. We're pretty, all right.
So let me, and Mr. Johnson is right, I have had several, meetings with them on this. Judging by their drawings and what they told me, it's Miss Brown's, intent to make a more upscale event place with nicer buildings. As you said before, there's horrible buildings out there will be torn down, so that's the first benefit. But, her feelings to me, conveyed to me about this, was to make a more upscale event center. Will have the paid parking and various amenity buildings there. Touching on the variance on the setback, if you look at the drawing, and it's a little bit hard to see, but the planning commission, they trim back the request to reduce the 200-foot perimeter setback all over and just made it in certain areas. Now, it's a moot point on the east side and the south side due to that floodplain anyway. So that's staying at 200. Essentially, you already have a setback because you can't get in the floodplain over there anyway. On the front from Locust Grove Road, the citizen had a concern about it being set far back. The 200-foot setback, perimeter setback is in play there as well. And that very first building, that proposed events pavilion there, is almost twice the 200-foot setback from the road. So it's about in a neighborhood of 400 some odd feet off the property line in the front. Now, in the north part, up there where you have the woods, they did recommend for approval the variance from 200 feet to 100 feet there if the woods there was kept undisturbed, and there is a proposed 6-foot tall opaque fence along that line where the setback would end. So you'd have fencing there where people couldn't go off the property, but you would also have the woods that's there right now to preserve on the property. And of course, you got woods off the property where those houses are to the north of there. So the planning commission didn't do a wholesale variance all over the place for the 200-foot to 100-foot setback. It's just mainly on that northern side.
When you say northern side, we're looking at a northeast and a northwest. Which one are you talking about?
The northeast with the yellow line there.
Yes, ma'am. The yellow line.
Okay, so the entirety of this property is in red. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, ma'am, it is. And the red dash line is the 200-foot line, which, with the exception to the northern part, would not be reduced down. It's just on that, along the northern line, and it does kind of jog a bit. It's reduced from the road, starting from the road, going along where you hit that jog and it says fence and that yellow line. All through there, it is reduced to 100 feet. The rest of the property is not reduced.
And they're planning on having trees or something on the backside of the center, right? Isn't that what I see?
Make this
Zero feet.
picture smaller for us.
Yeah, zoom
I need to see up there where it says lot 2 and lot 1.
And they do own those lots, as they said before, and they plan to put some houses there, but they currently own lot 1 and 2 there.
So,
Is this not all one piece of property?
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. I thought you said this was all one
It
one
will-
thing.
The, pieces, there's a smaller piece up there where lot 2 and lot 1 are that are owned by them as well. Those will be portioned off into 2 separate house lots, but even without that, they still meet the 25-acre requirement for the event center.
And the lots, meet the requirements for AR1 housing.
Correct.
Okay, and that's, I'm fine with that. But I'm just saying, I thought you said that those houses were part of this event center application.
I mean, there's one, if you look along that yellow line up in the northern part, the dwelling quarters there is what she was talking about on the property that will be for the caretaker. There's a permanent caretaker that will live in that dwelling quarters, proposed accessory dwelling quarters right there along the yellow line. That's the only house on the event center property.
Does our event center ordinance right now allow for people to live at the event center?
So you can have it as a primary use or as an accessory use, the event center. In this case, it kind of goes hand in hand, but you could have the house as the primary, this is the accessory, or vice versa.
So yes, we can have people that live at the
You
event
can't
center.
have a residence and have an event center at your residence. That is not a home occupation. You can't do that as a home occupation.
It's not prohibited. Let's call it that way.
It's listed in AR1 as a principal use and also as an accessory use.
Correct.
Both require a special exception, but it
Oh,
can be
but
either
you
or.
can't have a house be the principal use and then have a business to be the principal use as well.
Well, hold on a second. Remember, we had a wedding facility out, I want to say either McIntosh or West Ellis some years ago, and the family lived in the house, and they were going to do barn weddings, and it was allowed as an accessory use to a principal residence on the lot. But it, like David said, the way it's drafted, and we provided for flexibility with this, the special exception use can also be primary with a smaller residence attached. That's in fact why we have the event center ordinance. People wanted to have event centers basically as home occupations, and we said no, and we did an ordinance to draft them the requirements for an event center that they would have to meet. That's why you've got the acreage restriction.
When was this done? 1930?
No, probably,
You are on the
I'll tell you
committee,
what,
Dan,
I'll
come
get
on.
on Municode and I'll find it because
Okay.
the date of the
All right, that's all I
revision
have.
would be
To
there.
me,
Eva, do you remember?
I wanna say around 2020. I'll get you, hang on.
Okay. To me, if it seems like the variance becomes moot if lot 2 goes all the way back. You follow me?
Well, in
So-
a way, but where you have the fence, it still would not.
But if that fence was for lot 2, and then lot 2 had sort of the main house and your extra house, and then you had the event center that was just in the front yard there that still has all the 200-foot setbacks. I think there's a way to do this without the variance. And again, as we've seen tonight, as much as the owners come in and maintain that everybody wants this, we've seen tonight people come in and say, I'm the neighbor and I don't want this. I go to church with people in this neighborhood and they go, we don't want an event center here.
Eva,
So-
can you scroll down to the variance part where it has this red buildable area? Probably, yeah, it's on the second one. Buildable area, item I-4.4, or I-5, I'm sorry. So that red area there shaded is if you apply the 200-foot buffer and with no variance whatsoever to the property, as you can see there, there's pretty much, it kills the project.
So what this map tells me is that this is not a good site for an event center.
Well, you'd have to apply the variance to it.
I mean, we could change the core rules and create an event center anywhere we wanted to, but this isn't a little change. I mean, this is a substantial change that the neighborhood doesn't want. I just, again, I think what's out there right now is a ruin, and certainly I would love for someone to come in and develop that and change it into something of economic value with nicer houses and whatnot, but I don't know if we're at the right plan for that. I think if this was just an event center and didn't have the 3 houses, you could certainly put an event center on that front, and then maybe, hey, that corner, to the northeast there, maybe we do, but like with 3 houses on it, it just seems like you're trying to have your cake and eat it too in a place where none of it seems to go. Does that make sense?
The ordinance was A 20-04, so it was done in 2020.
I have it pulled up if you guys need to see it. 'Cause I found it.
Did you find it as well? Okay.
So help me understand something. What you have highlighted in red is what again?
If you apply the 200-foot perimeter setback for an event center to this property without any variances whatsoever to the size, that red shaded area is the buildable area that's left over after you subtract out the 200 feet and the floodplain.
Okay, so I guess I don't understand that because you got all that green space right above the 100-foot setback line, above that, right above where it says proposed 24-inch road. You got that green space, and you got additional green space at lot 2.
But it's from property lines. It's from the property lines.
It's from the property lines.
We're right, but it either that's part of this or it isn't.
No, that's what with this, they're taking out lot 3. That's going to be a house. And thus there's a 200-foot away from lot 3. If you go to lot 2, if that becomes a separate house, then they have a 200-foot setback from the lot 2 that they're carving out. Without that, then they've got the entire front area to build. Even down there on lot 3, you could have event center stuff. But they're carving out lots 1, 2, and 3, which would create a 200-foot setback, which would smush what they could do as far as event centers. And so they want to have 3 houses and an event center on somewhere that it doesn't fit. Everybody see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Again, there might be a way to do this. I mean, you look at the size of the event center building, and then you see the size of the bigger part of that red area. You could put that entire event center in that red area, but that's not what's being proposed right now. You know what I'm saying? So you could fit the event center there, and then just have the parking be next door. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But when you look back at the ordinance that created this, and remember what I said, we were getting the demand for people who had large tracts, nice houses. They wanted to allow people to come and have a place for weddings or parties or whatever. The ordinance that adopted and approved this actually has 2 provisions for an event center. The first is as just a special exception use unto itself. But we also allowed it as a home occupation use, provided that house plus the event center met all the same criteria. 25 acres, limited number of attendees, and so forth. And that was the reason it was done that way. So the presence of the house on the event center property should be really a non-issue, like
Right,
David
because we
said.
got
It doesn't
this over
matter
here,
which
right?
one came first. The 2 lots on Locust Grove Road are really not part of the event center. They are stand-alone residential lots that meet the criteria in AR1 of a minimum 3 acres and whatever the minimum lot size is. So let's not confuse those. I mean,
But we have one application. Okay,
correct.
so that's why we're confused,
But-
because if it were.
So
But
lot
they
two.
can do those lots A
Sure.
and B or 1 and 2. They can do those as a matter of right
Right, no problem.
right now.
We get it. We're not
And
telling them they can't. We're
I'm
just
certainly
saying
not
we're
upset.
not happy with the way that this setback is working.
Yeah, I'm certainly not upset with lot 1, 2, and 3, but lot 1, 2, and 3 and an event center, because lot 2 and lot 3 create a requirement for the 200-foot buffer, which smushes the size of the event center into non-existence without us changing the core of the rule. So you could have lot 2, 3, and 4 and make this into a house, but it's the, place for a special event trying to shove in there as well, that it doesn't fit because of what the totality of what they're trying to do. If they want lots 1, 2, and 3, I don't think they even have to come and ask us. If they wanted to do lot 2, 3, and 4, I think the event center road frontage would have enough for them to be able to do that. I don't think they would need our approval for that either. It would just be a sort of a deeper lot. But them setting an event center, because somebody's going to live in lot 2. That's going to turn into a residential. Somebody's going to live in lot 3. That's going to turn into a residential. And so we have created a 200-foot setback from residentials. So they're creating lot 2 and lot 3, which by them creating it, creates the necessity for the 200-foot barrier, which then smushes the available size for the event center. And so they want us to give them the 3 houses, the 3 lots, which they can do anyway, and then have that not count against the event center ordinance, which the two things don't work together. So, I mean, again, they could put 4 houses out there, and again, I don't think they would even have to come and ask us maybe for final plot approval. But like to come and then ask for the exception because they're shoving so much into their own space, I don't think that's fair to the neighbors.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is kind of how I feel. I agree with Commissioner Dutton about, the necessity for the variance because of the anticipated yield from the other lots. In my opinion, if they would like to have us table this and they come back with something that is more workable, that we feel is acceptable without taking the needing a variance for this event center. If they want to do that, that's fine, because you all know if we voted and we voted down, that's done. You can't come back for a year.
Right.
Can we interject because
Can I say something? You guys mind?
We okay with them talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
So, and I hear James, I hear you, Ms. Flowers. The strategy wasn't profit on these 3 lots up front. The strategy is an event center like this in a rural area should be tucked away. And so we wanted to tuck it behind the residential that's along the front, because we didn't want to change the frontage of this road. So we wanted to make it look like it was still something that's rural, and you drive down a long, narrow drive to get to this event center that's in the back. We were looking at something that was more inviting for the person that's driving through this. So it wasn't a for profit thing. So that's number one. Number two, the buffer on that northern side, even if, I know James was mentioning if we were to take it and reshape it, we just didn't want the event center to be closer to the road. We want it to be as far back as possible. It's its own building right now that's 400 foot back, and then we just have this groundkeeper's dwelling that's way in the back from that. We chose to fence it because we've gotten all this feedback from everyone involved. We had some neighbors that did come out from the start, and we subsided a lot of their concerns. We think that we've addressed all the concerns until tonight. But go ahead.
Okay, and then to top that off, lots 1 and 2, that's 2545 Locust Grove Road. So the property lines are the property lines. So we're not, lots 1 and 2, that's 2545 Locust Grove Road. In-house owns the 2545 and the 2547. Those homes are not meant to be built to resell, so it's not going to be another, as you guys are thinking, maybe a nuisance or noise to a residential occupant in those homes. Is that what you're thinking?
That's what's being presented tonight. That is what's being presented tonight.
Yeah,
It
so,
absolutely is, and if this were part of your plan for your venue, it would make more sense to me
To make
that
it
the
one.
access to those would be from the inside of your
Yep.
venue and not off of Locust Grove Road
right.
And then they would be part of the event center and wouldn't count towards the 200-foot.
or your
Didn't-
3
No,
acres.
well, we're not involving lots 1 and 2 as part of the venue. I just want you guys to know
And
that
no,
we
that's
still
what-
own
We
them.
understand that,
Yeah.
and what we're saying to you is that because those lots are not available for this plan doesn't work. This variance doesn't work because there will be houses within 200 feet of it once you develop lot 2 and lot 1.
And from
And
my,
it doesn't matter who lives there. That's a residential lot, and thus it has an event center has to be 200 foot away from it.
but from my understanding that if lot 2 did extend down that northern line, like you said, we would still need 200 foot off of that, because it would be residential. It would be AR residential at that point.
So unless lot 2 was part of the event center. You see what I'm saying?
Unless, but
So
if,
there's
but
a
if,
way to do that because then the
so, but I thought, so we had numerous conversations about this, James. I won't kid
Yeah,
you.
I'm
with,
sure, I'm
with,
sure,
with,
I'm sure.
with David, and David and I have spoken about this on numerous times. We were looking at housing inside of this development, doing something more internal, and he thought that probably wouldn't be a good idea for the area. So this is the reason why we came up with something that's a little bit more, I guess, spacious right now. We didn't think that this 100 foot would get so much flack, in my opinion. But we did take a look at all of that. Even if lot 2 was added to it, we would still have a buffer off of that, and it would still be a subdivided lot.
I think there's a way to get what you're doing, but I don't think it's presented tonight. I think where the event center itself is, the actual pavilion and the building, like right now you got a barn there. Well, the barn's not going to cause a ruckus, you know what I'm saying? Like you could put the barn somewhere else, and then you could move those buildings into that red area, and thus you have the setbacks. You see what I'm saying? Then this does work because you've moved the buildings of the event center inside. Everybody follow me?
Inside the 200.
Inside the 200-foot
That's
area. Now you're
outside.
far enough away. Does that make sense?
But that's not up for us to decide. This
Correct.
is what they brought to us, and if they want us to make a decision on this, then that's
Right.
what we have to
Let
do.
me try to be
Yeah.
crystal clear. The issue is with us right now is if we vote no, for a year, you can't do anything with it, as I understand the rules.
Understood.
If you say, we'll take it back, you all table it, let us rework it, you can bring it back in then at next meeting or whenever you want to do it. So you're gambling with a year. I just don't want to surprise you. If you think we're going to vote down, that would be a year you can't do anything with other than continue to work. You can't bring it back to us. If you think we're going to vote it down, then the option would be, all right, let us go back and do what James said, rework it to be able to do that. So I don't want to do something and then you say, oh, I didn't understand that.
Yeah. No, look, Mr. Davis, I think we understand it. The thing is, I mean, if we get the wrong vote tonight, right? We got another year where this thing just sits as an eyesore for the whole community for another year. Nobody wants that either. But the thing is it fair that we show James all of the options of what that looks like, and if this one is the best one, when we come back, that we agree that this should be approved. You know what I'm saying? Because I can put together numerous options, but I think they're going to still lead to a variance. That's what, because we've been through we went and did this a couple of times now. I'm just being fair.
Yeah, it's your call. We're ready, I think we're ready to vote. We know what we want to do. It's just,
No, if the vote is leaning towards a no, then yes, of course, we'd love to table it. I need to get a bit of more understanding of what the committee's asking for, if any revisions or changes. Because this is the fourth, fifth change.
And I get it. And I think in most counties they do it a little differently than us. Most counties, the person that sits in that chair says no, 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 and then they come for a variance from us. Here, David is super nice and tries to work with everyone to try to figure out ways to make it happen, and then come up with the variances themselves. For us, we have written ordinances that say here are the rules, and here are all the rules. This doesn't comply, and so you're asking us to change those rules. So if you come back with something that complies with the rules, then I don't see why we wouldn't approve it. So what we have before us tonight doesn't comply with our rules, and there's no real compelling case to change those rules for you. So I mean, I don't know what else we could give you other than here's
I hear exactly what you're saying.
the rules that we've set up.
So, so we would elect to defer the case to the next cycle.
Oh.
And we'll present every option available. We just hope that you respect the options that we present.
Well,
Thank you. All right.
please, thank you for doing something with this property. It's been an
It
eyesore
needs-
for a long
yeah.
time, and it's,
To the neighbors.
I'm
as
with
well,
you.
James. I don't know which neighbors you're speaking of, but some have been
including the one that came in tonight.
okay. Do I have a
Motion
motion?
table, until the applicant.
Hold on, are we tabling, or did they just withdraw?
No, we're tabling. I suggested that we table.
But if
You
they
need,
withdraw
you
it
need
before,
to table rather than them withdraw. You need to
Okay,
table.
right? Yes,
I don't know
all
the
right.
procedure.
All right,
I'll second your
Motion to
motion to
table.
table.
all right. I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Can't be.
All those, yeah, you're right. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Thank you.
Would that be the next cycle, David?
I'll get with you on that. There is a chance of possibly doing it on December 15th, but that's pretty tight. You might be looking at January.
We
We're
can
fine
lift
with
it from the
December.
table
We
whenever.
can produce something. We can produce multiple options by December if we need to.
As
Just
fast
let us
as
know.
you can redo it, come back to us. We can look at it again.
Thank you.
This is not a,
We're tabling.
Who is the second on that vote?
I was.
Have a great
Here's
one.
your motion.
I made the motion.
no. No. Normally, yes. No. You sure? Okay. All right. Item number 5, public hearings.
Mr. Chair, public hearing application 2526Z, John Shepherd, owner 120 Airport Road, parcel 142-03-026, located in land lot 140 of the Second Land District, consisting of approximately 0.41 acres. The applicant is requesting to rezone from R1 Single Family Residential to PDD Planned Development District for placement of a commercial driveway for an existing business to an adjacent parcel. Application 2527Z, John Shepherd, owner 121 and 123 Oak Avenue, parcels 142-03010 and 142-03009, both located in land lot 140 of the Second Land District, consisting of approximately 0.38 and 0.41 acres respectively. The applicant is requesting to rezone from R1 Single Family Residential to PDD Planned Development District for expansion of a storage yard for an existing business on an adjacent parcel.
All right, I think
Can I make one comment right quick? You tabled the special exception use. You did not table the variance, so you need a variance on the prior application. You need that tabled as well.
Please forgive me.
Motion to table.
I have a motion to table. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Thank you, attorney. All right, David, you're going to give us a summary of this?
Yes, sir. So Mr. Shepherd owns the parcel on Airport Road as well as the parcels on Oak Avenue. He also, the main business parcel is on 1113 Zebulon Road, which is actually complicated enough to make in the city. These two parcels he's asking to rezone are in the county. So you have a mix of city, county right there, a mix of uses. But he is asking for the 120 Airport Road parcel that he owns to be rezoned so he can put in a better commercial driveway for his business off of that road instead of the problems he's encountering on Zebulon Road. And I'm sure he'll speak to that again in more detail in a minute. As far as Oak Avenue, he owns those two parcels behind his business on Oak Avenue as well. He would like to have them rezoned to the same zoning as his main business parcel and use those for additional storage.
Okay. Did anybody sign up to speak?
Yes, sir, they did. If you'll open public hearing.
Motion to open public hearing, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, we're in public hearing. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, first up this evening is Brian Adams. If you would please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Once again, this is a 20-minute issue from both sides.
Speech time.
Each side, yes.
Hi, my name is Brian Adams. I reside at 123 Bobolink Drive in Griffin. This is my wife, Angel Adams. We're here speaking on behalf of Wayne and Pauline Harrison, who live at 114 Airport Road. That's her parents. They're elderly and unable to be here tonight, so we're here speaking on their behalf. The parcel at 120 Airport Road that he's wanting to put a commercial driveway in is directly next door to the residence at 114 Airport Road. The commercial driveway is for tractor trailers, dump trucks, all of that kind of stuff, and that's going to be a lot of noise that's going to be rolling in and out right next door to a home. I got a little off script. I had made a few notes, but I'm a little nervous here, sorry.
Go ahead, we understand, take your time.
The driveway that he's proposing to put in, one, there's a creek crossing, which I'm sure that'll have to be piped and so forth to resolve that concern. I'm assuming the possibility of flooding from that will be addressed. But the driveway he's proposing to put in is supposed to be 12 to 15 foot according to that. As he stated in the zoning meeting previous to this one, his existing driveway is 40, it was expanded to the 40 feet that the DOT would allow him. I've failed to understand how a 40-foot wide driveway is insufficient and a 12 to 15-foot driveway will be sufficient. I have a commercial driver's license. I've been driving commercial vehicles in my profession for over 20 years. Trying to turn a commercial vehicle, especially a tractor trailer, off of Airport Road, which is a 2-lane residential road, onto a 12 to 15-foot driveway is going to be very difficult. If they make a right turn into that driveway, they are going to have to swing into oncoming traffic in order to make that turn. They're going to have to stop and wait on traffic to clear before they can make those turns, which is going to cause even more traffic issues on Airport Road. The lot at 120 is fairly close to the red light that's at Zebulon Road and Airport Road. You start backing traffic back up into that red light, there's already traffic issues there. That's why in the past that the turn lanes were put in to help relieve some of that traffic issue. Also, one of the other concerns is to think about tractor trailers when they're actually turning. The tires aren't rolling, they're grinding on the asphalt. That's going to eat up that road. That's going to be expense for the taxpayers. So, what else am I missing here? I believe Mr. Shepherd stated in the previous meeting as well that the main reason he was wanting the driveway moved was for the utility lines that go to his business. I don't remember.
And
in that meeting, one of the board members stated that he would be happy to go speak to the utilities to get the lines raised so he'll be able to get the trucks in on the existing driveway that he's using now, which he has used for many years, and there hasn't been a problem.
And I'm assuming we're talking about also the two lots that are the Oak Avenue address as well, all at one time?
It's a combined hearing.
Or it is, okay. I didn't know.
Okay, I just didn't want to speak out of turn on that, so.
Thank you.
And as far as the main reason we're opposed to that is because the more expansion there is, of course, there's gonna be more traffic on that driveway if it's approved. There's no restrictions on the driveway as to what time of day or night it can be used. Again, you're cutting a commercial driveway in the middle of residential lots. You know, who wants trucks and tractor trailers rolling in at any time of the morning or night they get ready to come in and out of there? I mean, it's just not really a good fit for that location.
He also stated that, about the piping, going back to that, the same creek that runs along my parents' property of the 114 Airport Road, I wish I had a.
Well, it actually shows right there on the, where it crosses.
So it kinda goes, this way toward Airport Road, but then it's gonna run along where he's trying to propose, this driveway. So it's the same creek, and he stated that, that he's having that problem now with the trucks going into the driveway, compressing that. Well, it's the same creek. He's gonna have the same issues, if that driveway is there. And as Brian just stated, the proposed driveway, it's gonna be a lot of wear and tear, commercial vehicles. That is a county maintained road, so, Airport Road is not designed for tractor trailers. There's gonna be loaded dump trucks to be turning on and off. The road isn't wide enough. The existing traffic now on Airport Road backs up several times a day. I don't know if any of y'all come through there, but sometimes traffic can be a nightmare. And if you add the semi trucks in there, I cannot even imagine. And you also got the walking track, so I don't know how that plays in safety wise. I stated, the Zebulon Road, he's used that for many years. It's been fine. Zebulon Highway is set up for commercial traffic. It's wide enough, and to my knowledge, there hasn't been any traffic concerns to date with him using that. I know, also in the planning meeting, they were talking about, recommending the XL and DCL lanes. Possibly, I don't know if y'all do approve this, if they do the XL, DCL.
We're getting folks online who are asking y'all to speak closer into the mic.
Oh, I'm
who are
sorry.
watching.
I'm sorry. So you have, okay, I'm so sorry. Okay. You know, if y'all do some reason do approve it, maybe shift it to, since he does own all the parcels on the other side of 120 Airport Road, shift the driveway just to the west. That will protect the creek. There's no creek that runs there. And also, when you put the XLD cell lane, it would not
There's
affect.
potential for it to encroach on the property
Yes.
of 114 Airport Road if they do put the XLD cell
It wouldn't
lanes in.
affect.
And if the driveway were moved further to the west, then it wouldn't be, it would all be his property. It wouldn't be a concern.
Okay,
That's all. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for your time.
thank you. Okay,
Mr. John Shepherd.
Hey, good evening, board. My name is John Shepherd, 1113 Zebulon Road. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I purchased this property in 2021 and have operated my business continuously. I'm talking about 1113 Zebulon Road. I've operated my business continuously at this location ever since. Over the past few years, our company has grown, and with that growth have come new operational needs, particularly when it comes to safely moving our trucks, trailers, and equipment. Right now, our only driveway is extremely limited. We face multiple obstacles, including utility structures, the proximity of existing buildings, and very narrow road frontage. During our busiest times, especially in the mornings when our crews are loading, another truck often cannot pass without the entire crew stopping to move vehicles. This creates a bottleneck that slows down not just my business, but also the 3 other service businesses that operate on this same property. In 23, I was able to purchase the adjoining properties on Airport Road after the previous owner passed away and the remaining family who lived out of the area chose not to keep them. The specific parcel we are discussing today is not suitable for any productive use other than providing access. What it can do, and what I'm requesting your approval for, is to serve as a new driveway that connects directly into our storage yard. This new access point would immediately eliminate the congestion, safety concerns, and operational challenges we face every day. It would create a clear, direct route for our trucks and trailers to move without interfering with loading areas or causing delays. Most importantly, it would help multiple local businesses continue to operate efficiently and continue providing jobs and services here in Spalding County. I care deeply about running a safe, responsible, and well-organized operation. This driveway is a practical and necessary solution that allows us to continue growing in a way that supports the community and respects the surrounding area. Touching on a few things that they mentioned, Airport Road is not completely residential. It is a mixed-use road. You have the airport, you have multiple other businesses on Airport Road with a mix of residential, as the area has grown and changed over the years. I've personally met the parents, and the father even approached me at one point about buying his property to create another driveway from my Zebulon Road office space. So I'm a little concerned as to why there's so much pushback on that in this meeting. So that being said, I mean, you already have semis going back and forth on Airport Road, going to the airport and other areas. So that's pretty much all I have to say at this point. So.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Mr. Chair, that's all who have signed up for this application.
All right, do I have a motion?
Motion to come out of public hearing.
I have a motion, do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, we're out of public hearing. Director?
Yes, sir. So as we talked about tonight with everyone, there is a creek running through that property. The property is basically unbuildable as a lot. So he was looking to make that just a driveway. Obviously, it would be piped. We looked at it with the planning commission. I had recommended approval, as had they. They had some additional approval conditions. Number 1, property shall be used solely for the entrance exit from the parent parcel on 1113 Zebulon Road in service of the business registered there at the time of approval. Number 2, no storage of materials or parking shall take place on this lot. Number 3, you should maintain 25-foot yard setbacks from adjacent residential parcels. This would be, of course, for the driveway pavement edge. Number 4, a driveway permit meeting all county standards shall be obtained. 5, an A-cell, D-cell lane for the driveway is required per public works requirements. And then 6, a 25-foot wide landscape buffer on both sides of the commercial driveway.
So they recommend, the planning recommended approval,
Yes, sir.
and the staff
Yes, sir.
recommends approval. Okay? All right. Commissioners, comments, questions?
No, when the airport road zoning began to change, the first business that went out there was a pest control business. And we had some of these same issues. We talked about the traffic, and we talked about the neighbors. And it was determined that, we got 2 trucks, we're just, pickup trucks, bringing them in and out, and it won't be any detriment to the community. But I have a real problem with this. I have a real problem because this is still a residential area. And, I know what trucks sound like coming up and down the street, and I know what they sound like when they crank up, and that's a lot. And I mean, I just feel like Airport Road is not made for this kind of, we're sitting here all this week trying to figure out what we're gonna do about heavy trucks on our road and gravel and blah, blah, blah. This totally goes against everything that I think that we're saying that we want to do. There is access, if there can be access to the back of this property, which it looks like it is, then the entranceway should be off of a state road where large trucks go. That's just me. I'm just one person. I don't think this may be a transitioning neighborhood, but I'm not gonna be part of it transitioning to this. I don't think that this is appropriate in that spot for that to be a driveway for trucks to come in and out on Airport Road.
James?
You know, it's always us, me and you, Gwen, that always, y'all need to pipe up a little bit more down there, I think. Mr. I want to go on record by saying I think the world of Mr. Shepherd. He's actually come out and looked at helping my yard before and seeing what he could do and gave us some great ideas. I think he really does high quality work. He called me and spoke about this and a month ago now, I want to say. There's something to be said about coming in and off of Airport Road for deliveries. I mean, I know that they use a lot of brick and a lot of stone in the high quality kind of yard reconstruction or that they do, and you know, it might be easier for them to get on and off Airport Road as opposed to through the front entrance there on 155. But anytime they come, when anybody comes, that's what I'm over here on my phone doing. Everybody's sees me looking down. I'm Googling this place and I'm looking at it on the map and we're pulling it up on the satellite and on Google Maps there's a listing for truckparkingclub.com. And this location apparently isn't just used for your storage, and it's used as a rental parking spot for tractor trailers, which is obviously not what we're trying to have in this residential neighborhood. And at first I thought, hey, maybe this is a bad listing. Let me follow the link. Nope. Here's the cost and here's the reviews, and you know, this is how you get in. Don't park in the bank next door. And it just seems like something that when we spoke on the phone should have been brought up. And so the idea of expanding the existing business and what's going on, that's one thing, but this seems like we're creating an easier access to overnight monthly truck parking for tractor trailer trucks in this neighborhood. And I'm shocked that I had to find this out tonight through my own research, and I'm shocked that this is what's going on. So there's two things on here though, right? Right? Isn't it?
Motion to.
And
Yes, sir.
But the
They're
other
two
one,
separate items.
the other one is to expand what's currently going on into the county, because all of what's highlighted here, that's in the city completely, right? And then immediately to the left of that is county. And so
Yes.
he's asking to expand essentially his lot and the uses that his lot currently has there right? That's the idea. That's what the PDD part is, right?
Correct. Yes.
So it, again, makes sense to me. I think, there we go.
All that pink, purple, whatever you want to call it, is Griffin
Right,
City.
right. It makes sense to me that expanding his current business and allowing trucks that he owns to park there, like that makes sense as a use of this. I I don't know if we
No, we don't.
if we want tractor trailers to come on and off of Airport Road to deliver his goods. I'm kind of on the, and as we said on the phone, but I'm certainly not okay with this being a commercial parking lot that would have entrance on and off of Airport Road. So I'm just, is disturbed as a strong enough word for that? Maybe if I'd have had more time, I could have wrapped my head around it before. But this is, I feel blindsided.
All right. Any comments from either one of you?
I totally agree with James. Like I said, I was sitting here playing on it and reading up on it, and that's exactly what that's meant to be. You've got the arrows going in, where they park, the way to go in, and I mean, it was already planning on this coming up and being approved tonight, so it's,
I agree with James too.
Again,
I'm all for businesses growing now.
Yes.
I love small businesses.
Yes.
But you got to do it the right way. Don't blindside us.
if this was, what's the name of the yard? What's the business name? What's your business name? What's the Southern Cross? I knew it was a cross though. If this was, hey, we need to expand Southern Cross and just our park, like, I'd feel a different way. But
Okay.
We did talk about this about 3 months ago. I mentioned it.
now that was external commercial truck parking, that you
This-
needed more space for
This
your
is
trucks,
not
that makes
Time
sense.
to do this. All right.
I-
Do I have motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to deny application 25-26Z.
This is solely the Airport Road driveway piece. We'll talk about the next piece in a second.
I'm gonna second that for discussion.
Okay. I have a motion and a second discussion.
Airport Road is or isn't a no through trucks.
It is a county road, it is a no through truck.
All right. Any more discussion? All those in favor of denying?
Actually,
Yes, please.
I know that we're in discussion with GDOT for them to take a bunch of our roads, including sort of the main artery roads.
This is not one.
This isn't one of the ones that they're currently taking, but it does connect to highways.
It does connect to highways, but over the next 4 years, the airport will move, and that will be less of a connector road.
Okay.
Is it something, I mean, would anybody mind if the state took that road for us and then they had to repave it when trucks smash
Another
it?
conversation.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, I mean, that
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
trying to figure out what's the future here. You know what I mean? For this property, we don't want it to be unused, but if the state takes it, then that's I think that changes the story significantly.
It was not one of the roads that was listed as one of the 6
Possible.
roads.
And
Maybe
even
we
getting
add
those
that.
6 roads is on the
A
far
monumental
end
ta-
of
a monumental task.
monumental task, yes. Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor of deny, please raise your hand. 5-0, motion carries. All right, the second one,
Mr. Chairman,
David?
didn't we discuss this already?
We did, but I just want to make clear that with this, with the driveway portion of it out, expanding on the back of the property, he would still be using the entrance he has now only. Part of your approval conditions is that in no way, shape, or form, and it's not even paved to his property, but he could not use Oak Avenue as an access. It'd have to be fenced up, blocked. It's not, it ends in a cul-de-sac, and you have his 2 lots, which are grass, then the business. So the main caveat here is he could not use Oak Avenue as an access.
Truck parking is a no-go.
Is there a way to approve this, but only allow overnight parking for personally owned trucks or the trucks owned by the business that owns
Yeah,
it?
Southern Cross.
You know what I'm saying? So that Southern Cross can use
Oh,
it.
actually, the planning commission, I think, did a little bit step better than that and said,
Because expanding his business, I think his business is great. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you don't want to expand your business into a neighborhood. We're not trying to get rid of residential completely there. We're not trying to transition that to fully.
I don't think you could put. Well, this would be PDD, not commercial, but I don't think you could put a house there. Like, we doesn't have access to a road, right?
one of the 4 approval conditions
Oak Avenue.
that the planning commission added was use on the parcel shall be for storage only.
Yeah, but storage could be overnight storage of somebody
You
else's
could
commercial
say
vehicle.
just storage of materials or.
Yeah, because
Pulling
the
it in a
issue
little
of how do you do this? How do you
So
check
this
it?
is my concern. First of all, we don't have any way to police that. And
Correct.
secondly, I mean, everybody has the right to do whatever they want to, but I would not want a big truck, overnight trucking parking lot right next to my house. I got enough noise with people walking up and down the street and cars driving. That's a lot of noise. They never turn the truck off, the blah, blah, blah. Not a good, and then Oak Street is a cul-de-sac. So those people, not only are we fixing to affect the people on Airport Road, we're affecting the people in the neighborhoods in the streets beyond.
Okay.
Just
Do I
think
have-
about it if it was in your yard.
What if we did material storage only? So that instead of even trucks over there, they could put the big pile of sand or the big pile of dirt or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that, I mean,
But there's
that's the kind of
nothing
business
next
there.
to that but residential. Why would we jump from PDD, jump from commercial to PDD, and then right next door is residential? It's
Can we go
hard.
back up to the map? And then go a little, oh, bring us back in. So it's those two, and then there is just a house immediately to the left of that too.
That's very strange on that last house. That's where the paving stops. It's really weird.
That's a weird place to
Well,
end
you
up
know
in.
how we do stuff in the county.
What about then giving him the one on the right and then letting the one there between the residential and that one be the buffer? I mean, I see what you're saying.
Whose house is that? Is that a business up above that? Okay, on the airport side of the road.
Those are all houses.
But
That's an office
but
or a
he
house?
owns those.
Those are barns, so those two are just
Yeah.
one barn, that's a house, that's a rental house at home, and that's just another barn essentially.
So
But
he
y'all
owns-
own those too.
Yeah, he owns all that the cursor's on to the blue stream area.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about those.
And even the two smaller lots, those are already graded flat, there's a big berm right between the house. Go down to the left. Yeah, right above where the white box is that says the name.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah.
Right
No.
there, that's a 5 or 10 foot berm with 30-foot trees on top of it already.
What if we, because that berm and the trees on top of it are good for sound abatement. What if we, you see what I'm saying? Like, what if we did the one lot and left the other one as an undisturbed buffer for?
Right, the one just east or west
west.
of the purple, we say yes to. The one that
No,
has
the
already
east
got
one.
the berm on it, say no to.
Or we could approve both, but require a buffer that is that size. You see what I'm saying? Like, you follow. I'm trying to make it work. I know it's a little last minute. Maybe
It's not
we.
gonna work if you're putting it where it's gonna be next to people's homes. I mean, I think that's what the other people that we're talking about in terms of if there is that kind of traffic coming in. Yes, you're gonna hear it there. It's not just about the traffic coming off Airport Road, and then this little street is across the street from a cul-de-sac. There may not be an outlet there, but that's gonna be noise,
Can you
and
move
it's
the
gonna
map a
be
little bit down
multiple
again?
vehicles.
South. No, south.
All right. All right, do we have a motion? James, any more comments?
The one just south of the two empty lots, that's another empty lot, right?
Yes. Not owned by him.
Oh, Singleton owns that. Okay.
Commissioner Flowers Taylor, do you have a motion?
Yes, I have a motion to deny application 25-27Z.
All right, do we have a second?
I say,
All right. Discussion? Ryan, any comments?
I showed her on the map there, it's already been cleared off, it's all been leveled, and I ain't saying it is, but it's probably already got stuff on it, so it's probably would be no change to the neighborhood where it sits. And that's what don't make me happy. I don't like that. I don't like that stuff sneaking in. Again, I don't like being blindsided.
Now, I can't say we respected that line.
Okay.
Over that line.
Oh, that time is up. All right. Reginald?
That's it.
Okay.
I'm all for him expanding his business. I don't like the for rent truck parking that's happening. I wish there was a way to make that happen. I wish there was a way to make that happen here. I think the world of him and his business, and I think that we should table instead of denying and let them come back with more restrictions or something, berm, sound abatement, whatever we need to do to, you know what I'm saying? Like, what else these lots gonna be used for?
Maybe somebody might build a house there, like it's a neighborhood, Okay. Maybe the county should finish paving the road to the end.
That's not a bad idea.
All right. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to know, I didn't know anything about a truck lot, but is that something that we have? Well, I guess maybe the city does have a license for operating a truck lot.
That I do not know, ma'am.
Trying to look at it on land uses now on the city ordinance, and I'm trying to find their grid at table 7.3, which I'm not having success doing in a short order. I do not know.
All right. Let me make the same talk I made the last time. You have an option of getting a vote now?
Actually, you have a motion and a second on the table,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, we have an option of letting the vote go, can't come back for a year, or deciding that you
I
will.
think once we have
What?
You
I
have
think
a
once we have a
and
motion, I
second
don't
on
think
the
they can
table,
withdraw
sir.
anymore.
But he's discussing. Aren't you discussing?
Sure.
Aren't you in discussion?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
The
don't-
chairman can discuss if he wants to, can he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just want to make sure that Mr. Shepherd knows the two issues. We've just done it before. All right.
I was gonna say, sure, we can table it, that's fine.
I rescind my motion.
Okay, and who seconded?
I'll be saying my second.
All right,
All right,
Motion to table.
motion to table. Oh, she's got a motion to table. I'll second the motion.
all right. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Motion's tabled. All right. Public hearing number 8.
Mr. Chairman, public hearing number 8, proposed text amendment to the Spalding County Code of Ordinance Appendix 4 zoning relative to revisions and additions to Appendix B Planning Commission. Proposed text amendment to the Spalding County Code of Ordinances Appendix 4 zoning relative to deletion of Appendix C Board of Appeals.
Motion to go to public hearing.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. 5-0. We're now in public hearing. Take your time.
Can we ask questions, or do you want to say some stuff first?
Actually, the only thing I'm going to say is that no one has signed up for the public hearing.
Motion to come out of public hearing.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. We're now out. David?
So as you know, the Board of Appeals had its last meeting in October. It's being phased out. Its duties will now be combined with the Planning Commission. So we'll have a Planning and Appeals Commission when this is done for a second reading. So we will start the year off 2026 with a Planning Appeals Commission. This is very simply the language to do that, both to revise Appendix B and then to delete Appendix C. This has been thoroughly reviewed by Newton, so it has all the appropriate language.
So it must be correct.
That's right.
All right, let's make sure this is, that's what we,
Housekeeping seal of approval.
what we want. Go ahead, Newton.
It was very easy to delete Appendix C. That was easy to do. But the Board of Appeals has specific things that they do. And those responsibilities have to go someplace. So those are being sent to what will be called the Planning and Appeals Commission, which is a reconstitution of P and Z. Now, now keep in mind, we are also dealing with, and there are not a lot of judicial decisions on this yet, but we are also having to deal with how variances play into rezonings under Senate, House Bill 1503, or maybe, I'm sorry, 1405. And, for example, tonight you voted on a variance and a special exception. You were about to vote on them separately, yet the variance can be part of a rezoning now. So bottom line to this is, in 1405, the bottom line is that the Planning and Appeals Commission will take over the responsibilities of the Board of Appeals. Now, the only reason I'm talking about this is because I want to make certain that y'all are aware, because I've heard rumblings, they haven't really made it to me, but just following through with things, you hear things, and I have heard y'all express the desire to have everything, including a simple variance that's unrelated to a rezoning, unrelated to a special exception, come up to you. So, for example, and that is the way we provided in what we provided for the Planning and Appeals Commission is that the standalone variance would stay with them. All right. For example, excuse me. That has to be changed in 1405 and in our variance procedures. But now y'all have to tell us, do you want everything on the Planning and Appeals Commission to come to you, including whether or not somebody in Sun City gets a variance for setback to build a porch?
Yeah.
Are you following me?
Yeah, I thought this was appeals. Let's make sure we understand. I thought this would go through citizens, the planning, come to us, we made a decision, now they want to appeal this, and the process was back to the citizens.
No, you have
the
both.
appeal is from David saying no because this
Correct.
goes against.
Now keep in mind, we had not had an appeal from the zoning administrator's decision for the better part of 12 years.
Yeah,
And this year, we've had 3.
I guess I'm a lightning rod.
In 60 days.
Look what you've done.
In 60 days. So the appeals board had that authority, and in fact, that is being transferred over to, that's why we call it the Planning and Appeals Commission. But the appeals board also had authority for standalone variances, even after House Bill 1405 was approved. So, the only thing I'm asking you is, do y'all want to hear every setback, lot width, deck extension in Sun City application to come here? Because it will extend your agenda significantly without having a huge policy issue presented. Okay?
So my problem with that is that our history with the appeals board has been that they have basically undermined decisions that we made here. If we told a developer, you get this much lot yield, and then they go back to the Board of Appeals and say, I need this in order to be able to do what I need to do. And it has been approved at the Board of Appeals. Well, we did what we did for nothing. That's the way I feel about it.
And I understand, I don't mean to interrupt you, but understand over the past 2 to 3 years, they have had very few variances and 0 appeals until recently.
Okay, so if they're not really having variances and 0 appeals up until just recently, David's fault, then why should that add to our zoning agenda significantly? How is it gonna be that much more if they're
And let me finish that one thing you're talking about, Commissioner, with the variance that would relate to a rezoning or a special exception under 1405, that's already coming straight to you.
Okay, so then what kind of variance would be a variance that someone will
Lot
come and
width.
ask for?
Lot width, side yard setback, extension of a deck in Sun City to encroach the setback in the rear of the lot.
So like when you did William Wilson back in March, and it had a huge rezoning, several variances and a special exception, all that, cause it was related to each other, came to
you.
your board.
And it had to under 1405. The only thing I'm asking you, and we can do it however you want it, but the standalone variance, where it's just a variance, under 1405 can still be done at the level below you, either at Board of Appeals as it exists now, or the way it will exist as the Planning and Appeals Commission.
Now, my issue with it is, it's appeals. And I want that to come to where elected officials are the decision makers. That's my issue with it. My issue, I thought it was planning us up, I want to appeal, planning looks at it again, and the final decision is made by folks that are, the citizens can have a specific vote to say you're not doing right and we're voting you out. That's what my issue is. So I don't want, I want the citizens, people of Planning Commission continue to make recommendation to us on all things.
So in the language that we have here under section 101, under the creation of the Spalding County Planning and Appeals Commission, I want that language to say that they have,
Recommendation.
yeah, that the Georgia, in Spalding County, Georgia, concerning the following legislative zoning decisions, that they are authorized to make recommendations to us, not to adopt or repeal or to amend, that they should make a recommendation to us to do that.
No problem, they can't do that now. They
I know,
can't make
but
a
that
decision.
language to me looks like it's saying that that's what they are able to do.
No, A says, and enumerates the things that are legislative zoning decisions, and it says they conduct a preliminary review and a hearing on and make recommendations to the board concerning the following legislative zoning decisions. Okay?
All right, that's
Now
what
look
that's
at
what I want
B,
to see.
to conduct a hearing and render a decision on the review of appeal of a final quasi-judicial action that is the exercise of quasi-judicial land use powers, including hearing appeals of administrative decisions and rendering decisions on applications for variances, administrative permits, or other similar permits not enumerated in subsection A. Now, if y'all want that to be a recommendation as well, then that needs to be stated that they are still a recommending authority.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I mean, I think absolutely. I want elected officials to be held accountable at all costs. That's what our job is. People should be able to look at us and say, in the end, you all did yes or no, and we're going to vote on you later.
And if it's a bunch of 5-foot porch variances, we can put it on a consent agenda. But at the end of the day,
yeah,
this is the job.
Well, James, if it's gonna be on a consent agenda, then why does it have to be reviewed? All right, one thing that we have historically not done is an administrative variance up to, say, 5% or something like that. Now, that could certainly be handled and would not affect much of anything. But if y'all wanna do that, that's fine. But I will tell you, I'm asking, y'all, we need to get this adopted this evening and then come back and make any changes that would be required.
Bear in mind, this is the first reading, so I could have it for second reading in December.
My big issue was the fact that I wanted to make sure that their duties initial duties would be to make recommendations about these decisions.
Yeah.
And I might add understand also the standard of review of that decision, if they are appealed to the courts. And we have suddenly picked up, picked up our litigation work recently, all right? The standard for review, going to the Superior Court for a legislative zoning decision is going to be de novo. What this board does carries no authority into Superior Court. The standard for review for an administrative decision is going to require you to develop an evidentiary record. Then review in a Superior Court is going to be based on that evidentiary record only.
We have you two over there to do that kind of stuff for us, and we love you.
So I don't.
Well, love's a strong emotion for a zoning lawyer, Mr. Chairman, but I'll take it.
In lieu of the fact that we've really not had what we needed for the zoning board of appeals, and I get it, these things are always a work in progress, but you got to have a baseline. I would be fine if, as long as I understand now that under House Bill 1405, that when there's a zoning changes there, if there are variants, it will roll with that. So those are the areas that I have the biggest concern with. I would be willing, because the county manager has shared with us that whoever the new commission will be will have to have training. I will be willing to allow them to work for a year or whatever to see if they're able to handle these minor variances, you know, expanding the deck or whatever, because that won't come to us anyway. But I don't want to create, I think it's going to create work for us just because we're doing variances now along with the zoning. But I want to give them credit for the fact that if they are trained, they will have the better ability to make those decisions and to understand what the decisions that they are making are. I mean, I don't want to hear that somebody wants to put an awning shade on the side of their window, or they want to put a cat door on the back of the deck. I don't want to hear those cases, but
My first answer is we need to get something done now. My answer is let's approve this, and then we'll
Then
go
we can
back
come
and,
back.
and find out what all the rest of the stuff. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
motion to approve
I have a second.
as presented.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries.
Thank you for the work on that, David and Newton.
Yes. And you have to keep coming back to us and talk to us if you see things as soon as you see them. Hey, here's the first time we've had this, so we get it.
I will give you warning, there are 45 other places in the code that refer to appeals.
Appeals board.
And once y'all approve this, then you will have another ordinance that has to set out and change Board of Appeals
All of those.
to planning.
I think most of those are covered in Article 4.
So,
I've kind of looked out for them, so.
Definitions or whatever that was. Okay. Where are we now?
I believe we're at number 10.
Item number 10.
Proposed text amendment to the Spalding County Code of Ordinance, Appendix 4, zoning, relative to deletion of Appendix C, Board of Appeals.
Very easy.
that was very easy.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Number 11.
Number 11, proposed text amendment to the Spalding County Code of Ordinance, Appendix 4, zoning relative to revisions and additions to Article 4, general procedures, including revisions to urban proximity standards in Section 413.
I will open a motion to enter into a public hearing.
Motion to enter public hearing.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. We're now in public hearing.
We do. Mr. Chairman, we have Rich Atkinson signed up this evening to speak.
Welcome, Rich.
Mr. Allen answered my question beforehand. So,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody
Motion
else?
to come out
That
of,
is all.
motion to come out of public hearing.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Okay, item number 12.
Number 12, proposed text amendment to the Spalding County Code of Ordinances, Appendix 4 zoning relative to revisions and additions to Article 4 general procedures, including revisions to urban proximity standards in Section 413.
Mr. Allen?
So we have worked on this one for the better part of this year as well. Article 4 is very important. Want to make sure we got it right. So a summary of changes, obviously minor clerical edits, expansion and clarification of non-conforming use section 403. Newton wrote that up. Clarification of building permits, section 410. Revisions to the variance section in accordance with House Bill 1405. We just discussed that. Revisions to the special exception section according to House Bill 1405, which we just discussed as well. There are some architectural items in there, which is kind of weird to me, but we're gonna move them to the new appendix for the, architectural ordinance that we will finalize, I think, in early 2026.
Yeah.
There are some revisions to the urban proximity standards, which was written out, which some of those are still in Article 4. Some of those will be moved to the architectural ordinance as well. And then there's some revisions and clarifications to the text amendment and zoning amendment process in section 414.
Now, again, this is different than what I've been reviewing, right? That's a totally different, the consolidation of.
Yes.
Okay.
There are some weird, Article 4 talks about general processes, and it goes really weird talking about needing gables and this on houses. We just moved all that to the ordinance you're reviewing.
All right, does everybody, I want to make sure everybody.
In the meantime, when we change this, before we change that, there's not a gap in people having to do that though, right? Like,
There won't be. There will be, anything, if we happen to have one of those special residential subdivision cases that it's talking about, which I doubt, could be covered in approval conditions.
All right, I want to make sure
Well,
everybody's
remember, this
square on
is-
what this is about. This is about ringing around. All right, if you haven't got that, come see the county manager to be able to. All right, do I have a motion to approve?
Well, one point, James, remember, this will stay in section 413 until David's next ordinances are brought in where this gets moved to a more appropriate place.
Okay,
So it'll still be there.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Yes, I'm looking at Article 413. Newton, I need you to help me. Because I remember that years ago, we had an urban proximity zoning. And now I just find out from Steve and Eva that the urban proximity was taken out in 2020. Did you know that?
We've always had an urban proximity special exception subdivision in section 413. Now, it is not zoning as such. That's never been removed.
If you look on the future land use map, all those color codings of certain districts, there's one for the urban proximity areas, which lays out where they are on a map. And then you go into here and you apply for a special exception if you're in that urban proximity area to have certain standards in that.
Urban proximity is just a subdivision requirement, regulation.
Well, I understand that, but the bigger purpose of the urban proximity is to close in any development from the city by matching what they have so that
That's
we
correct.
can take the density to
That is
the way
correct.
that we want to move it.
That's correct.
And so I feel like in the original, or whenever I remember us talking about urban proximity, that the urban proximity basically covered the entire county line that was abutted the city limits. So that's what I'm trying, I want a definition of what that looks like, or are we designating where that is?
If you look at page, I believe it's 311 of your agenda packet, you'll see the definition of where the area for urban proximity is. And it says, it is appropriate for undeveloped property which abuts or is near the boundaries of the city of Griffin. And then in B, 3B under that, it identifies those areas on the map.
Which which one identifies the areas on the map?
3B.
3B. Undeveloped properties which may be suitable for an urban proximity subdivision are located within designated areas shown on the urban proximity overlay map.
So,
And when this is approved, there is a provision of the map here that David will get to be executed by the chairman.
Right now, as far as I know, I've seen a GIS layer that has it on there. As far as a official map on a wall, have not seen it. It is on the future land use map.
okay, I just wanna make sure, because the whole purpose for me, for us doing is to stop the sprawl. And for us to have a wall up for how much density we will allow the city to push out on us too, so. I
That's
just wanna
what
make
it
sure
does.
that we're covering our perimeter no matter which side it's on.
You could admit, it, once we have the map, you could amend it, expand it, whatever, from time to time as well.
Okay, I'm good with that.
We have a motion?
That's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
All right, I understand we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries.
Mr. Chair, under other business, number 1, second reading and ordinance for proposed text amendments to the Spalding County Code of Ordinance Appendix 4 zoning, necessary revisions and additions to proposed Appendix N Historic Property Preservation Ordinance per the requirements of OCGA. Please help me.
44-10-20.
Thank you, because I do not have it on my sheet.
All right, no public
Clicked off
hearing is
there.
required. First reading was on October 23rd. No
Motion
changes
to-
since that time.
Motion to approve the resolution, which will be the text amendment to Spalding County Ordinance Appendix 4 zoning necessary revisions, addition to proposed appendix and historic property preservation ordinance.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
I
All
think they did great work on this. This week, this was good.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, number 2, second reading and ordinance to Part 11, Chapter 4, Noise Abatement and Control, Spalding County Code of Ordinances pertaining to necessary revisions and improvements to amplification standards and processes for event centers.
No public hearing required. First reading was approved on October 23rd. No changes since that time.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0.
Mr. Chair, number 3, second reading and ordinance for rezoning special exception for 50 South McDonough Road, 585 Spalding Investments LLC, 50 South McDonough Road, Griffin, Georgia, 30223, located in land lot 15 of the 3rd Land District, parcel number 219-06001, consisting of 127.45 acres.
No public hearing required. Rezoning and special exception approved on October 23rd. No changes since then.
Motion to approve the second reading and the resolution, for the special exception for 50 South McDonald Road.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second discussion.
So this is kind of what I meant by, like, consent agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the future, is there a way to, all these second readings that we've already done, is that allowed? Is that a thing that we can do? Or do we need
To
an
approve the
individual?
resolution?
You could do the second readings as a consent agenda, yes, sir.
I'll be more than happy to set that up in the future.
Thank you.
All right. We have a motion and everything, right? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries.
Mr. Chair, number 4, second reading and ordinance for proposed text amendment to Appendix 4 zoning ordinance of Spalding County, Article 14A C1C, Manufacturing Light, Section 1403B8, and Article 17 PDD Plan Development District, Section 1703A6, pertaining to revisions of data center standards and processes.
No public hearing required. This was held since August. First reading was approved this summer. There's been no changes. Now let's make sure, tell us what,
It says changes. Closed loop water system, utility availability letters, acoustic noise study.
Yes, that was
Those are the things that
approved over the summer. Yes, ma'am.
That's the things that we specifically
That's
asked
what
them
we
to
added
put in.
into it.
Yes.
Those were the changes we added, but there's been no changes. This is our general rules for data centers.
Yes, as Ms. Flowers Taylor likes to say, it establishes your baseline. Usually you will have some more approval conditions tacked on to a certain property, but this is your baseline data center ordinance.
Yeah. When people routinely say to us, what are your standards for data centers? This is the document we're sending them to.
Correct.
I want to make sure everybody got that out there in public land. All right. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, discussion?
The feedback that I'm getting is either from the people that don't want data centers because they don't want AI to exist, and there's nothing that you could do to make them happy. Is the data center exists, and we hate it, and that I get that point of view. And then the other side, what I'm now hearing is, are our rules too strict? Are these data centers going to come and pay taxes, or are your rules too strict and now they're not going to come at all? They're going to go somewhere else. I don't think they're too strict. I don't think that I don't think that we would want a data center that would come and do any of the things that we're preventing.
Oh.
So at the end of the day, do we want the tax revenue? Do we want the extra funding to be able to put towards animal control and everything else? Do we want our residential taxes to be lower? Yes, but not at the cost of some of the
What our county culture
issues
is about.
that
Can't just be a blank slate.
Right. So do I worry that now our rules are too strict and they won't come? Yeah, but I'd rather them not be here than to cause what they've done in Noonan and Fayette County and everywhere else. So
They don't gotta come here.
I hope they do.
I mean,
And
I
I hope
want
they
them
follow
to,
our
but
rules
they
and
ain't
we'll
gotta
close
come,
them
they
down.
just do, yeah,
That's
they
right.
gotta follow
That's
the rules.
Gotta follow the rules.
Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries.
Mr. Chair, number 5, second reading and ordinance for proposed text amendment to Appendix 4 zoning ordinance of Spalding County, Article 1, pertaining to necessary corrections, clarifications, and improvements to uses and standards in certain portions of the zoning ordinance.
All right, once again, no public hearing is required. This was held since August. First reading was approved this summer. There's been no changes since we last worked this. Do I have a motion to approve?
Oh, this is just regular stuff.
Yes.
Okay, motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0.
Mr. Chair, number 6, second reading and ordinance for proposed text amendment to Appendix 4 zoning ordinance of Spalding County, Article 2, pertaining to the necessary corrections, clarifications, and improvements to uses and standards in certain portions of the zoning ordinance.
Once again, no public hearing required. This was held since August. The first reading was approved this summer. 2 definitions have been added since.
This is basically your definition section of the code.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I second.
I have a motion and a second.
Got a question.
And
Some
now
of the
discussion.
changes says shooting range. Do we wanna, at some point, talk about outside shooting range versus inside, or are we talking about inside and
We will.
outside when we just?
This is just a definition, no standards. We will get into that.
To the
with
meat
AR1
later. Okay, that's a,
I'm
Next
actively
year.
working on it.
Yeah, I hope so. All right. Any more discussion?
No, sir.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, number 7, second reading of an ordinance for proposed text amendment to Appendix 4 zoning ordinance of Spalding County, Article 3, pertaining to necessary corrections, clarifications, and improvements to uses and standards in certain portions of the zoning ordinance.
No public hearing required. The last was held in August. The first reading was then, and no changes have been made since that time.
It's basic stuff since like Article 1, yes.
Just list the districts.
Basic stuff.
motion to approve Appendix 4 zoning ordinance of Spalding County, Article 3, pertaining to necessary corrections, clarifications, and improvements to uses and standards in certain portions of the zoning ordinance.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Item number 7, consideration of meeting minutes of the October 23, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting
Motion to
minutes?
approve the meeting minutes of October 23rd.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second? All right. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, motion carries. Executive session, discussion.
Yes, sir. Executive session for this evening, discussion or deliberation regarding personnel matters, including appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action, dismissal, or periodic evaluation, or related to public officer or employee as authorized under OCGA 5014-3B2. Discussion or deliberation on the acquisition of real estate as authorized under OCGA 5014-3B4 in consultation with legal counsel regarding pending or potential litigation settlement, claims, or other legal matters as authorized under OCGA 5014-2-1.
Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
Motion to go into closed session for the aforementioned reasons.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0, we're now in closed session. We will return a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand.
And we don't have to, there's no votes.
Motion
No.
to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?